So we all know the situation that's going on right now with Raja Jackson. He pretty much beat up a man an inch away from his life, and right now there is no confirmation on whether or not that man is even actually gonna live. Throughout the entire day, I've been watching different videos about the situation, and for the most part, a lot of people have been saying that what Raja Jackson did was wrong and he needs to serve some jail time. I think that's definitely true, but I've also seen a couple of people out there saying that Raja Jackson did absolutely nothing wrong because he stood up to a bully. I honestly don't see it that way. If you guys go ahead and pay attention to all the context there was no bullying. It was an honest mistake that actually what took place the night of, the assault. And, one of the worst takes I've heard or watched so far is actually coming from someone in the MMA community that's very well respected, and that's from Chael Sonnen. We're going to go ahead and react to exactly what he said because I think his take on the situation is completely freaking terrible.
Raja Jackson, Rampage's son. Now, let me just start out with a disclosure to you all that I know this young man, and I like him a lot.
Ooh.
I don't just know him to be level-headed and calm. I know him to be quite polite. Now, I want to preface that because I don't think that will interfere with my ability to tell you what happened here, but this is
it definitely does. 100% it definitely does.
A wildly complicated situation. So let's start with what you saw. You saw Raja get in the ring as part of a wrestling angle that was scripted and planned. You see Raja come in with his wits about him, waits for the right moment, picks up a double leg just as it was planned. And he's doing this with Psycho Stu, and Psycho Stu is letting it play perfectly. Raja then turns him around so that when he brings him down, it's right in the center of the ring, which appears to be very clearly what they agreed and had planned to do. Now, the landing is not great. When Raja brings Psycho Stu down, it's not great, and Stu lands in a way and he hits the back of his head, and he looks as though he perhaps lost a level of consciousness. Right?
This is a terrible take from Chael Sonnen. What is he saying right now? We all saw the tape. We all saw the video. Whenever Raja Jackson slammed Psycho Stu to the ground, he instantly went out. His hands flattened out and he was unresponsive. Do people think that anybody receiving punishment to their face, conscious, isn't gonna try to defend themselves? Like, no. Obviously, Psycho Stu was out. He was completely out. He wasn't defending himself at all. This is a really bad take from Chael.
Then, all right. Either way, this is what happened. And either way, Raja Jackson, from my vantage point, is working out the spot the way it was planned. Raja then follows up with a right hand, then he switches and follows up with a left hand. Now, these were hard shots. However, and again, I'm giving you my perception, but I watched this thing 20 times before I made this video to you guys.
Wow.
While they were very stiff shots, not what we would call a working shot, it did not appear that Raja had lost his temper. It did not appear that these were being done out of anger as much as, all right, I'm going to pick you up, I'm going to spin you in a 180, I'm going to bring you down in the middle of the cage, then just like a cage fight, I'm going to land a punch to either side. Whatever's supposed to happen after that. There was a couple of guys there, a referee, another wrestler, perhaps the boys step in. We'll never know. Because at this point, it appears that Raja marked out for his own gimmick and really begins laying some shots in, but those shots are done out of anger.
Yeah, definitely they were out of anger.
If you want to understand what happened here, you're going to have no ability to get into the eye or mind of the DA or a potential juror. You're going to have no ability to do that if you don't understand emotion versus action, right? The action is supposed to look like he's punching him. The action is supposed to look like he turns him in a 180 and slams him down on the back
Chael Sonnen said that he watched this clip 20 times, and this is his take. I don't know if he's trying to like rage bait everybody, but this is really fucking terrible. This is really bad stuff that he's saying here.
Of his head. So then, where you cross that already blurred line, right, which professional wrestling is already the blurred line, where you cross that is where Jackson actually gets angry.
Yeah, no, duh.
The rest of it, from a physicality and an appearance standpoint, is what you're supposed to do. And sometimes some shots get through. One of the most famous ones that you guys would have seen was Braun Strowman.
27 unanswered shots went through. That's how many shots Psycho Stu received. 27 unanswered shots got through. Chael Sonnen. I don't know what to say. I think that he might be trying to rage bait us here, man, because there is no other way to explain this. Either this is one of the worst takes I've ever heard, or he's trying to rage bait people. There is no other way around it.
Brock Lesnar trusted Braun. Braun did a move that was too hard. Brock responded with a real-life punch. That settled Strowman back down. But these are very normal things that happen in the business. We then, as an audience, get armed with what led us to this point. And there's another video that has surfaced where Psycho Stu is in the back. They're like literally outside. It's a nice day. The wrestlers are out there. They're carrying on and whatnot, working out their spots. Rajah Jackson is back there. It appears as though this is where Psycho Stu meets him, and Psycho Stu takes a full can of beer and busts it open on the side of Rajah's head. The other wrestlers, they don't jump in and pull him apart and break him apart. One of the other wrestlers is informing Stu, hey, this kid, Rajah, he's not a worker. Meaning he is not a professional wrestler. He is not part of the show. He is not one of us. He's a dude that's back here and you just broke a bottle over his head. So Psycho Stu then, in yet another video, but all preceding the event in the ring, explains to Rajah, hey, we're always working. You know, this is always a work, whether we're trying to fool the audience or we're just trying to fool the boys in the back. You know, you and I have got an angle now. So the rest of the guys tell Rajah, who was a little bit confused by this and really didn't like that he had a can busted over his head. It didn't hurt him, but it embarrassed him. And he is a legitimate fighter. Like, he's going to have an ego like anybody and not going to want that to happen. But he didn't really blow up or react. The guys told him, hey, look, get even with him in the ring.
We should have stopped the video when Chael Sonnen said that he knew the guy and that this was a widely complicated situation because, number one, obviously he's going to be biased about it. And number two, he's just not going to say the truth. Like, he's going to make an instant excuse and try to rationalize the actions that Rajah Jackson did whenever he was in that ring beating up the guy. It's 6 more minutes of this. I'm going to go ahead and leave a link if you guys want to go and watch the entire video. But pretty much the entire video is Chael Sonnen trying to rationalize this entire situation, which if we just go ahead and pretty much just sit down and talk about it, the truth is that Rajah Jackson is an extremely emotional freaking dude that has a lot of pent-up aggression, and this guy pretty much just took it out on someone that wasn't able to defend themselves at all. The point is that Rajah Jackson should be in prison. He should face some sort of consequence for what he did. It was premeditated. If anything, it was attempted if not premeditated assault at the very least. In my honest opinion, Chael Sonnen, he is trying to monetize as much as possible from the situation, and shame on him from doing so. Chael Sonnen, shame on you, man. You're trying to monetize as much as you can from this situation, and it's freaking terrible. You know that this is a terrible take. You know it's a bad take. It's like Chael Sonnen is like the Stephen A. Smith of the MMA world, and it just doesn't sit well with me. It really doesn't, man. He's trying to rage bait people, you know, in order for him to get his freaking pockets full, and that's not cool, man. It's really not.